Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. So, since last episode, I did a bit of work, just more odd and end stuff. I worked in the library for a bit and got a bunch more books sorted. I have one whole, I'll actually take you over there real quick. I have one whole section of the library organized. Alright, but anyways, over here, you'll notice that there's books on all of these. A lot of these I had to actually craft up, like Unstable 2, Unstable 3. I had a bunch of unstable books, as you can tell, and just teared them up, you know, in the anvil. And I also cleaned up these and added like facades and stuff like that. So instead of having like open corridors right there. And then back in here on each side, you'll notice these two bookcase sections are filled. These are just dummy bookcases with just a bunch of just junk books in here. A lot of unbreaking. I have tons of unbreaking books. Still have a fair few books in here that I've got to go through, and I mean most of these have a place. They're just overstock, but there are a few that still have to be sorted. But this whole section here is all sorted and plugged up with remote awareness upgrades and filters and all that good stuff. I also crafted up a new set of armor here. I was going to go to blood magic armor. And the reason I'm not doing that yet, there's two reasons. First off, I'd rather wait until we get into demon summoning, so that we can upgrade the blood armor a little bit more. You know, if we're going to make it once, make it good, that kind of thing. So we're going to have to get some sigils and whatnot. And then in addition, if I was to wear the full set of blood magic armor, which really I don't see much point in wearing blood magic armor unless you're going to wear the full set, we would have to lose our chest piece, and I don't have the angel ring yet. So I decided to wait until we get that stuff. Probably in the next couple episodes we'll upgrade to blood magic armor, which is really, blood magic armor is like one of the top armors in like any pack. So I don't mind waiting on it just a little bit. So I did upgrade to Crucio armor and repaired our old armor up, and then upgrade to the Crucio armor. So we do have a little bit better armor. I also made a new weapon, the Appalachia blade, and I managed to get a Reaper 5 enchant. I enchanted some random swords, disenchanted, got a Reaper 5. Okay, so we now have Reaper 5, Wrath 4, Sharpness 5, Looting 3, and Soulbound 1. I did lose the knockback on this sword. I decided to not use that this time. So anyways, today we are going to be heading into the Betweenlands, which, the Betweenlands, we can't take food with us, because if we take food with us, it's just going to rot. And then in addition, weapons and tools and stuff like that are highly degraded in the Betweenlands, so I'm just going to go ahead and put these in my backpack for right now. Basically, they just lose effectiveness. I think it's just in the Betweenlands, though, but I will say, I mean, this is my first time ever survival style going into the Betweenlands, so this is going to be a learning experience for me, personally. You know, I popped into it that one time in creative to show you guys kind of a sneak peek of it, but we are going to be going in here legit style, and here we go. Oh, that's cool. I've never actually entered this portal in survival. That's awesome. What? That's the first time, like, you know, the nether portal's got that, like, fade effect, but I'm hoping that we don't spawn into a marsh, because from what I understand, that's one of the worst places to spawn in at. I already love this music. Like, that is one thing I will say, the Betweenlands has some of the best music. Oh, wow, we really started in a swamp this time. Oh, but I've got flight. I'm gonna keep flight active, I think. Wow. Yeah, we really started in the swamp. But the reason I'm keeping flight active is because we have Lycanites too, like in combination with the Betweenlands mobs. So if things get bad, I do want a way to get out of situations. Where's the closest, like, landmass? Oh my gosh! It's monsters! That is a lurker. And then we have anglers right there. And you'll notice there's a bar above my health. Okay, let's do it. I'm just gonna... Oh, let me turn off my engine. I'm just gonna try to swim. Oh, man. It's like super slow swimming right here. I mean, technically I could have... I'm gonna get out of this. Technically I could have brought a sword with me. And blocks and things like that, but I'd rather kind of just go off on foot, I think. Okay, that is a... There's like, what is that? Okay, I have to know what these things are. Let me... Oh, what? What? Huh. Wow, okay. Mossy crag rock top. This is just endless swamps for days up in here. And actually, let me pop over here. Let me mark this as a location. Like, I don't... Part of me says I don't want to use flight, like, for the most part while we're in here. Unless, you know, unless it's like Lycanites or something. But the thing is, I've spawned in probably the largest swamp. Oh, there's land over there. So, I guess we'll just go for that. Oh, man. This water's like... Okay, there we go. Oh, and there's some kind of glowing light. Oh, look at those lurkers. Those things are terrifying. They're so big. Bladderwort. And I will say, I mean, there's a ton of mechanics. Oh, gosh, this mud is awful. I feel like I'm sinking into it. Yeah, you can jump, like, to get out of it. We are in a marsh right now. Marsh 1. Now, I will say that there's plans to add, like, whole big quests and stuff within the Betweenlands and like all sorts of things. I don't know, I'm not for sure though if the quests are implemented at the moment, but we need to get out of this marsh. What is nettle? Ah, it's nettle that hurts me. Whoa, whoa, what? What is this? I got poison. I got poison. Oh, and this is like not a whole lot of land here. Will-o-wisp. Oh. 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 Okay. What is this stuff for, the Betweenlands? I don't know. Oh, but I can place it down. That is going to be awesome for building. Okay, I'm going to get up here. Okay, it is like swamps for days. And gas clouds for days. When I get into the... Oh, gosh. I really don't want it. I don't want those lurkers. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Lycanites mobs are going to make this a little bit difficult, I think. Let's see if we can get away from those birds, anyways. And, like, Vespids are, like, poisoning up the swamp right now. Yeah, I should have brought some blocks with me, but... I'll do most of the exploration on foot. I will do that. But we have, like, the largest swamp ever. Can I get, what does this give me? Dry bark. Wow! Oh! Gosh! And thing is, like, my hunger is going down. Which is not good. Soft brush. Okay. But I imagine there's ways to move things into here. Oh, what's this? Okay, I'm gonna get past that gas cloud. What is this thing? The ruins. We have now entered Chisel Betweenstone pillar. And there's a massive... Back into the wilderness. Okay. Okay, that's where I want. I was been looking for a tree so I can actually make, you know, maybe some armor or something like that. That algae kind of slows you down. Okay, these are deep waters. And we got weedwood here. Oh no. No, I don't want it. All these Lycanites mobs. I'm taking some mega damage in here. Alright, we're just going to punch some wood here. And weedwood planks, I'll make those and then get a weedwood crafting table. Okay, that doesn't actually turn into a crafting station. That's fine. And I'm just going to go for some wooden weapons for the time being. We'll get weedwood sticks. I mean, a lot of this stuff it crafts like the same way as standard. Here's a weedwood sword. And then we might as well go ahead and get like a weedwood axe. And we're going to kind of want to make our way through... Oh, vein miner does not work on the Betweenlands stuff. Interesting. Honestly, I think like a Betweenlands like start could be interesting because I mean I think most everything you can get and do within the Betweenlands and just make it so that there's a way that you can make a portal would be kind of cool, I think, but could also be kind of tough. Now, also you'll notice that my sword and my axe say slightly corroded. That is a feature of the Betweenlands where stuff actually corrodes. Yeah, actually I think technically I could probably use my Divine RPG stuff, but I'd rather make it a little bit interesting. But a lot of what I want from the Betweenlands is like building, because I mean look at these planks. Like these kind of things are going to be perfect for the witchery area, because I want to kind of go with like a swamp type feel to the witchery area. And stuff like this would be perfect for the witchery stuff. Okay, I need to find food. I think that's poison ivy, by the way. I can get poison from that. Shelf fungus. What can I do with this? Maybe I can make like mushroom soup. No, but it does burn like coal. Okay, now where will I find some food? Black hat mushroom. Compostable, tastes good. And then you can make nettle soup with that, flowering nettle, flathead mushrooms, and a weedwood bowl. Okay, now you'll notice that it says tastes good. That's another feature of the Betweenlands. If you eat the same kind of foods too often, you'll get food sickness. And that actually... Venus flytrap. That actually gave me hunger, which isn't great. Okay, I just need to find a flowering nettle. Pitcher plants. I want all these like plants for my witchery area. And like these right here. The weedwood bushes. I definitely want these kind of things for the witchery area. I keep finding nettle, but not like flowering nettle. I don't know. Cattails. Okay, the pitcher plant just breaks. It doesn't actually like give me anything. And all these mushrooms that I'm finding just give me hunger. Oh, this is not good. Okay, eating through those mushrooms, I was able to get a little bit of my hunger back. And it seems like this is how I'm going to have to survive for right now. I would like to find some flowering nettle, though. Oh, there looks like there's some kind of a house over here. Oh, what's this? A gecko. Aha. We can actually capture those and like keep them in cages. Okay, please tell me there was a house over here and I wasn't just... No. I was just crazy. Okay. I need to find some food. Like right now it seems like I just have to fight the hunger. And just go with mushrooms. Here's a rubber tree. Oh man, these things are tall. And that makes rubber tree planks. Okay. I'll leave that be for now. I'm trying to worry about food right this second. Oh, also nettle. Normal nettle will work as well. Okay, so let me see. Can I make shears? No, let me see. There is like Betweenlands shears. I just can't remember. Morite is what we need for that. Okay, so I guess we're going to go mining and see if we can get some Morite. I saw a place over... off in this direction. Yeah, right over here. Oh, you like stick in the mud when you jump down like into the water. Oh, that looks like some kind of food though. Oh, we got a tar based. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, he left like tar on the ground. Okay. So what did he drop? Crimson snail shell and raw snail flesh. Can I cook that? Yes, I can cook that. So let's see if we can get a furnace up and going. And then maybe we can start cooking some meat from like these snails and stuff. We'll just mine down into this between stone. And you'll notice that little brown bar above my hunger. I was talking about that a second ago. That's another feature of the Betweenlands. Like if you ever played Dark Souls, you know how there's always like a swamp in Dark Souls that's like always terrible. And lots of poison and really nasty things. That's pretty much how the Betweenlands is. Which makes it exciting because, like that brown bar, basically the longer that you spend in the Betweenlands, you build up this, I can't remember what it's called, decay, I think. Or no, that's, yeah, decay. Corrode is what goes on your weapons and tools. Decay is what goes on you. And the longer you spend in the Betweenlands, you build up that decay, and like it lowers your maximum health down to a maximum health of 6 hearts. And you also get like slowness and stuff. So it's pretty nasty, I have to say. Alright, let's see. Let's get a furnace. We have a sulfur furnace. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to... Actually, I think... Yeah, I can still cook things in this. No, I think I have to use sulfur, don't I? I don't have any sulfur. That's also how you make torches, is you have to get sulfur. You have to make sulfur torches. Because I don't think if I was to put in, say, like wheat wood and snail flesh. Yeah, see, I'm going to have sulfur to cook anything. At least it's not terribly dark here. I mean, mobs can spawn, which isn't great, but... Now, there is ways to combat, like, decay and corrosion and stuff. We'll get into those a bit later. I mean, I did spend some time reading about that stuff, because it's kind of important, I think, to know about that. But it is pretty nasty stuff. Oh. Aha! I see, I think, sulfur right over there. Now, I've got to be careful, because there are some pretty nasty underground monsters, too. Okay, that is octane. I'm not going to be able to mine that just yet. And that is octane. That's slimy bone ore. What is this? I can mine it. And I'm pretty sure I don't want to stand on an octane. I'm not going to try it. Because I don't want to lose any more health. Slimy bone. Can be used to make bone pickaxe. As well as bone armor. Slimy bone block. Oh, that bone helmet. I bet that stuff looks cool. Okay, and then can I make like a stone tool? I'm pretty sure I cannot. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a crafting table. We're going to make probably a new pickaxe here in just a moment. And as the stuff gets corroded, there is ways to combat that as well. To like clean off the corrosion, different things, but is it like this? Yes. Bone pickaxe. Okay. And I can use this to mine this octane. So we've got oh, it's going into this backpack. That's fine. Octane ore. We should be able to smelt it and get octane ingots. Okay. And then we can make octane pickaxe with that. Caving ropes, alembics purifiers, infusers. Oh, I want that octane sword. But I don't have it. I was going to get a slimy bone sword, but I don't have enough slimy bone left. But yeah, honestly, I think we got the worst possible spawn-in point for the Betweenlands, like, ever. It was nasty. Oh, man. Do I want to go through a cave, though? Caves are always nasty. I see chupacabra. I see sulfur down there. That would be awesome to get to, but... Oh, there's sulfur. Never mind. That's what I need, right up there. But yeah, there is, like, certain, like, foods and stuff that you can eat to get rid of, like, your corruption. It's, like, different kinds. There's, like, one kind of moss. There's, like, 4 or 5 different ones, if I recall, but... I mean, the Betweenlands, you know, I read about it and stuff like that, and I saw a couple videos on it, but for the most part, it's things that we're going to have to get in here and just kind of learn. You know, it's not something that I feel like a wiki really helps with or anything. The nice thing is we'll be able to make octane weaponry now. I just wonder where the stuff is to make shears, because I would love to make some shears and start getting nettle. So we can start making soup and actually maybe surviving somewhat. But of course with the Betweenlands, we're kind of required to eat multiple types of food and not just one type of food. Because of the nature of that food that food sickness stuff. So we aren't going to be able to get too comfortable for a while in here. Okay, I'm going to head back up to where our furnace is at. And maybe get some stuff smelted real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and smelt up some stone. And that actually restored a decent amount of hunger. That was 3 hunger for that. But you'll notice right here, the black hat mushroom, it says it tastes plain. That's where food sickness starts to build up. Eventually it's going to say, I shouldn't eat this. That's when we know we don't need to be eating that. Like, food sickness is pretty bad on it. Alright, so can I get some sulfur torches? I do love these too. Like, so much more than the standard torches. I keep hearing sounds, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and smelt up a bit of this octane as well. I wonder if we can actually double this, like if we went to the overworld. Looks like grindstone could. Pulverizer. Okay, yeah, I can actually double this stuff, but... Interesting. Very, very interesting. And I think, yeah, tough climbing rope. We can make that with 3 hangers. That would actually be kind of handy to have for getting down there to where that sulfur and stuff is. Make climbing ropes, but... Okay. Let me go ahead and make some new weaponry and some new tools. I'm going to get an octane sword. And actually with this, I'm going to go out and see if I can find some food, because I'm going to end up starving to death, right? Like, I feel like we're starting, like, brand new, almost. Like, going to the Betweenlands. But I like it. You know, it's not like... I don't care for the Witchery's method of, like, having to start brand new. Because it's like you're actually just starting, like, back over in the overworld, almost. More or less. I mean, yeah, I know it's a little bit different, but... The king slime... Are you serious? We got a king slime up in here? Sounds great. Okay, I'm just gonna kill some Vespids. Maybe some Arasaurs. Oh, I wonder if this is cooking the meat for me. Can I kill geckos? Okay, they don't really seem to give anything. I need to make a shovel. Oh, there's the king slime. Oh, is this a snail? Mire snail, okay. We got a little bit of snail flesh. Rotten food. Oh my gosh, that Arasaur meat and stuff and apples. These all are rotten. That means I'm not really going to be able to eat those. Whoa! Is that an imp that just spawned, like, massive size over there? From Lycanites? Like, are you serious? Oh, I don't want to jump down there. Yeah, see, I've got slowness too right now because of my corruption. Oh, man. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Okay, I'm going to eat that snail flesh real quick. That way we're up to at least full hunger. And then I'll go ahead and make some new tools. Like all around this octane pickaxe. What did I just take damage from? I think it's because my corruption, my player corruption is so bad. Okay, I guess I need to go down there. Because there's like a lot of stuff down there that I want. Okay, I'm just gonna... Oh, that looks so dark. Oh my gosh. This is like so terrifying right now. Because there's almost like a fog in this. Where you can only like really see so far ahead of you. And I got slowness 3, which really doesn't help things at all. This like player corruption's so rough. Now granted, I think we could pop back into the overworld and get rid of it. And we may end up doing that. But like I said, there's ways in here that you can deal with it. But until like... we really know our way around the Betweenlands, like, it's going to be tough. Like, you have like a fog where you can only see like 5 feet in front of you. It's crazy. Pot of chance. Okay. Oh, what was that? Ball of sap. Tastes good. Aha. I will eat anything that I can. Plant tonic or sap jello from sludge jello. Sludge jello is... Just took damage. Oh, it's that. Player corruption is getting worse. Pot of chance. Oh, 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 oh. That is Lycanites. That is Lycanites. Okay. I'm getting up here. That is the last thing that I need. Oh, Lycanites is going to make this tough. It's going to make it so difficult. Because I can't bring like anything from the overworld. No food or anything like that. It just goes bad. And you're left with raw, acid, rotten food. I'll tell you what I would like to do is set up... Like, I've got a bit of between stone. And what I might do is set up like a little area outside of where we spawn in at. So that we have some kind of like a safe area-ish that we can step out onto and kind of call that home and then just kind of expand from there. Plus I'd like to pop back into the overworld to... which I'm going to just fly over there because we've got this super marsh area. But what I would like to do is kind of, you know, start out from our home portal and just kind of build our way out, I think. I wonder if... I don't think my Betweenlands stuff goes bad whenever I go back through the portal. I don't think that it does. No, everything's still good. It's just you can't take, like, overworld materials and overworld food. Well, you can take materials, I think, just not food, weapons, or anything like that with you. Armor seems to work okay. Oh, and your corruption doesn't go, like, up automatically. Like, just for stepping through. Now, that is interesting. I do love this between stone. Like, this is cobblestone. And honestly, I think it looks good. Like, it's amazing. It's like the Betweenlands version of cobblestone. Oh, wow. It actually made a second portal right here. I think it's because I went in a different entrance or something. It's maybe what caused it, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. They all lead back to the same place. They just take me over here. I'm going to see if this corruption goes down over time, or if, like, I'm just going to be corrupted until I get the stuff I need in the overworld to get rid of it. I don't know. Or, I mean, in the Betweenlands. Okay, I took some time to hit the wiki back up, and yeah, our decay is not going to go back up by leaving the dimension. We're going to have to eat balls of sap is actually one of the main ways to get it back up. You'll notice these don't restore any hunger, but they do restore that decay effect. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do for right now. And then there are other ways to do it, but that's like the primary method of getting it back up. Now, I'm going to pop back over here. I would like to find some place to get food. But that snail that we found, if we can find a couple more of those mire snails, that's actually like the passive creature. One of the passive creatures in the Betweenlands that we can breed, apparently. Ooh, now that's a bad one. That's one of those other kinds. Poison glands. Now I think... I'm trying to find where we were. Armed with my new knowledge, I am ready to proceed. Okay, back over here. Back to where we were. And I guess... Because it's going to take a ton of this between stone to build out that, like, platform for us to call home. So, I think what we're going to do... Let's, we're going to set up here for right now. We're going to call this place home. And let me go ahead and mark this as caving area. And this will be our home for the time being. And like right now I'm trying to explore and do while using as little possible like outside help as we can. Like just kind of go in here. I mean I've got my ender pouch and my mining bag, that kind of thing. But I'm trying not to like... Well, I guess you can't even sneak food in here because it's going to go bad. Like as soon as you do. But I mean we could use our weapons and stuff like that. I meant to make a diamond sword before I came back through to see like Ooh, reed rope. Oh, we can make a bow, a sickle, a net, a lurker skin pouch. Inventory slots 9, craft surrounded with lurker skin to upgrade, and it's equipable. There's ladders, a bucket, Volarkite, empty amulet, which I know how those work, and then gecko cages, but we need Simorite. So I think at this point we just have to mine for the time being. But I think, like, while we're going through this, I would rather kind of stick to just the Betweenlands stuff as best we can. I mean, we'll use a few other things, but so it's a little bit more like pure of a playthrough, I think. We'll use some like additional things, but for the most part we'll be using Betweenlands type things. So I'm gonna go up here and see if I can find some food, because I need some kind of food, and I also need sap, which we're gonna have to find sap logs to get ourselves a good supply of sap at this point. But then again, if I could find that Simorite... Ooh, what is that? Oh, that's a Lycanites mob over there. I want to go over here. Oh, that's a swamp hag. Man, the mobs here are pretty tough. But luckily this sword has like fire aspect basically by default. What just got me? Oh, is that poison ivy on the tree? Oh, here we go. What is this tree over here? Sap tree. Okay, this is what I want. In fact, because these drop sap. That way we can get our corrosion down, keep our health up. And these drop quite a bit of sap as well. Now we can also make that sap jello. It also restores our decay. But we're going to have to get tar for that, like tar blocks. Okay, that's 10 balls of sap. I'm going to gather up just a bit of this. I wonder if you can get sap saplings. I want it. But what's interesting is as your corrosion goes up, like on your tools and stuff like that. Ooh, what was that? Just got something. I think it might have just been a mushroom, but as your corrosion goes up, like on shears and stuff like that, stuff becomes like chance drops. Instead of like always getting things from your shears, like whatever you harvest with your shears, it's like a chance. Oh, I just fell into the tar. I don't want to go into that. I do not want to go into that. Oh, sap tree sapling. Okay, that is what I want. So that way maybe we can get a sap tree like down in our little cave for the time being. And actually grow this sap. Because right now I've got 33. I think we're okay on keeping our decay down. And this is like one of the few foods that doesn't get affected by the food decay, the food sickness stuff. Now I also need actual food, like for hunger purposes, but if I can get that psychomoride or whatever it's called, if I can get some of that stuff, we'll be good on food, because then I can make stuff out of these mushrooms. Like, there's a few passive mobs off in this direction, but I don't know for sure if it's the Lycanites mobs or if it's the mire snails or something. I'm looking for snails, but I see a gecko. I got a swamp hag coming my way. The only thing is, of course, I'm not going to be able to just survive off of, like... I don't want that. No thanks. Some of these Lycanites mobs are just a little bit OP. Like, in this area. Just a little bit on the OP side. Okay. Let's head back down here and see if we can find some of that Psychomoride or whatever. That way we can start harvesting nettle. What is that? Chiromals. They are flying monsters. What is this? Chiromori wing. Anything will taste better after eating this. Okay. So I can actually eat it? I think I'll need a rest before I can eat more of that. It didn't, like, restore anything. Oh, man. Okay. I don't want to go down in that black pit of doom. Let's head off in this direction, maybe. Yeah, I think I could head down here. Oh my gosh. Everything has like glowing eyes too. Okay, this is pitstone, so we've officially entered like one of the lower layers of the Betweenlands underground, I believe. I believe pitstone is like when you start getting lower into the world, I guess. Oh, it's so spooky. I don't want it. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, those hags drop the slimy bones as well. So, that's good to know. Okay, I'm gonna have to eat mushrooms. I'm just gonna have to suck it up, eat the mushrooms. These taste good, apparently. Should help us out a bit. Alright, I'm gonna F7 this, and we're just gonna start going with it. I'm gonna try to get farther down because I'm almost thinking, I didn't look, but I'm betting that... Oh no. Okay. He dropped actual coal. Haha. But I'm almost thinking that psychomorite or whatever. Whoa. Oh, these Lycanites mobs are going to make things so difficult. Luckily my armor's pretty good, so... I mean, I could survive some hits from the mobs, just... I'll have to look and see if there's a way I can disable the Lycanites in the Betweenlands. Man, this looks cool. Like, I love this stuff. But it's also a tad bit scary because... Oh, there we go. Cyromorite. I don't know. I give up. I have no clue what it is, but we're going to take it. So we are finding it. It's just not very common. And what's bad is like the ambient sounds here make you think that something is always behind you. Okay, Okay, I'm getting out of here because I am taking an absolute ton of damage right now. It's mainly because of Lycanites mobs, sadly, but... Okay, but we got the ore that we were looking for, so I'm going to go ahead... Actually, I'm going to set like half and half. I wonder what goes in there. I guess we'll find out, but... Let's get this stuff smelted. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and eat this rotten flesh just to kind of get by at the moment. Get our hunger back up. Okay, so let's make some shears. Good as new. Okay. And we'll head up. We'll see if we can get some nettle. Because if I can get my hands on some nettle, we'll be able to... And I need to pick more mushrooms as well. But we'll be good on food at that point. And I would like to find some mire snails because we could start actually breeding animals. Okay, I've gotten a lot of mushrooms. Like, mushrooms are a dime a dozen here. And that looks like nettle. Okay. That is what I need. Okay, I got attacked by one of those flying grass things from Lycanites again. Like, Lycanites mobs have just taken over this place. Like, so frustrating. Okay, now how do we make our bowls? Weedwood bowls. Okay, it's just planks. That works. And we'll go ahead and start with like 12. I wonder if these things can stack. I guess we'll find out here in just a moment, but... Alright, nettle soup. And they do stack. That's awesome. Do we get our bowls back when we eat it? Yes, we do. Awesome. Okay. And that stuff actually seems to restore a lot of hunger. So we're now at the point where we have access to food. Now, granted, we've got that food decay, food sickness, so that we're going to have to keep changing foods, but... And I am going to look after this episode and see if there's a way I can disable... Man, I feel like we move so fast now, since everything's, like, taken care of. But I'm going to see if there's a way if I can maybe disable Lycanites in the Betweenlands. Oh, you can actually get, oh, the food rots as soon as you pick it up. Ooh, we got thorns down here. Oh my gosh. Lycanite's, what is it, ogre? Or etin. Okay. There we go. Strong but stupid. Achievement. Oh, that made me jump, actually. Like, I love the Lycanite's mobs, and part of me likes having them around. But at the same time, they mess up certain aspects of things, I feel like, a little bit. Oh, now we're getting down into the cavern, like, the lake cavern thing. I don't think this water's poisonous, is it? No. Okay. This is what it's like basically in place of lava, where normally you'd have lava in the overworld. Instead, you have that like dingy water. Right, what do we got down here? I don't know how safe I feel jumping into this water, honestly, but whatever. We're gonna go with it. Oh, I'm not actually seeing too much as far as mining down here. We saw that little bit of psychomerite or whatever. I mean, I think it's down in here. I know there's like some other stuff. There's like life crystals and stuff that you can find when mining. I think there's like 6 different things or something that you can find mining. Of course, we've only found, what, 3 or 4 of them? 4 of them? Imagine these things hurt. Yep. Stop it. Stop it. Tell you what, this ambience makes it so creepy. Oh, I found more Cymerite. It's like right there. That stuff is pretty uncommon, though. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we've got sap. I don't want this stuff. Let me make another chest here. I think we're going to go out and see if we can explore above ground. Oh, you can actually make chests out of that. Interesting. I'll tell you what, let's see if we can find some cave moss. Because there's a few things that I would like to make, and cave moss is required for a few of them. And I think we came across some before, didn't we? Like down here, maybe? Or no, is it back up here? Yeah, right up here. There's cave moss. I know I saw it somewhere. Yeah, that's what I want. Can I... No, okay, I can't just break that. I'm gonna have to use shears, it looks like. So let's break off a bit of that. Get a little bit of this cave moss. Oh, there's slimy bone ore. And I think I'm gonna need wood. So I'm gonna head up above ground for a minute. I would like to do a bit of exploring, but there's also things I want to do before we get into exploring, like get into like imbuements and stuff like that, and making potions, because I think those are going to be really important for us going through this. And I'm fairly certain that I can break these off. Yes. Okay, getting these weedwood bushes is one major thing that I definitely want to do. And that's because we're going to use those for decor in the overworld. But honestly, we are going to build a base here in the Betweenlands as well, because honestly, I think we'll spend quite a bit of time here. What's nice is this is one dimension where you can't necessarily just, I've got flight, I'm just going to fly through this whole thing and use super weapons. I mean, to some extent, I think you can if you really wanted to, but you also have that corruption stuff. You're going to have to do things here regardless, you know. Oh yeah, there's Valinite too, which is another thing that you can find when mining. I would like to get this, the herb lore book, but we're going to have to get dry bark we've got. No, I don't know if we've got that much, but we've got one piece. Okay. Well, anyways, what I want to make is right here, a moss bed. And we'll just put it down like right here. I love this bed. You may not rest here. There are monsters nearby. But my spawn point was set. That's the main thing. Okay, but I think we need to go out and hunt down some lurkers so that we can make our herb lore book and start getting into that. Oh, it's raining here. And I don't think the Terra Bozu is going to get rid of it for us. Oh, wow. Puddles actually form when it rains. That's actually kind of cool. Now, bear in mind that this mod is in beta, so there's still a lot that's being added and changed and done to it. I'm not for sure. I have to double check, but I don't think the infuser actually works in this version. But I am going to have to double check on that because that's just what the wiki says, and I'm not for sure because they were changing up the way it works a bit, and so it was removed temporarily in like beta 2, I think. But I'm not for sure if it's been re-added and the wiki is just out of date, maybe. Oh, that looks like gemstones down there. Yeah, that's green middle gems. Let's go ahead and mine these up. Those will come in handy a little bit later on. Okay. And I saw a red middle gem right down here. What I'm looking for is lurkers, but... Oh, I'm gonna drown. I'm gonna drown. I'm gonna drown. Go, go, go! Get up out of the water. Okay. Oh, this algae is terrible. That middle gem stuff's actually fairly rare, I think. And I think the only place you can mine it is deep waters. I say some more middle ore. Which basically this has to do with like weapon and I think jewelry infusing as well. Which I'm not sure how implemented that is at the moment. But I know there are 2 bosses in this mod at the moment, so even if everything's not fully implemented yet and some of it's, you know, still very beta, that's fine because I think it's going to be a very interesting exploration for like a few episodes. Plus, it's one of those mods I would like to get out there a little bit more because it's fairly new and I think it's got some excellent features in the works. Okay, there's our lurker. Our first lurker. I'm going to just speed this up a little bit here. Oh, here he comes. That is, like, absolutely terrifying. Ah! Die! Okay, there's some lurker skin. Oh, there's 3 lurkers right here and an angler. Because I need a fair amount of this stuff. And this angler. Oh, is that food? I think he just gave me food. Yeah, raw angler meats. We could cook that up as well. I may have to go angler hunting, I think. Yeah, now that I know to look for those trees, like I'm seeing them like all over the place. Those sap trees. Is it swamp reeds? That makes reed rope, okay. And dried swamp reed. Which makes reed donuts and thatch. Oh, it has thatch roofs that are slanted. I mean, granted, there's carpenter's blocks, which can do that too, but still kind of neat. And I'm actually kind of curious, can we plant these swamp reeds? Yes, and I bet they grow. Okay. Okay, you know what? I was actually just reading a little bit on the wiki, and I discovered that if you take limestone, I also read about farming and stuff like that. We'll get into that in later episodes with the Betweenlands, but Just trying to get our feet wet and try to start figuring some of this out, because it's one of those things like I can sit and read a wiki all day, but it's not really going to tell me much of anything until I actually get into the, into the dimension and stuff like that. Actually, you know what? I think to do this, I think we're going to need a mortar and pestle, aren't we? Let me see. What does it take to make that? We're going to need crag rock. Okay, so we've got to go find a crag to do that. And so far I haven't seen any crag rock. It's like a certain biome that we got to go find. Because we can actually crush up that limestone and get like limestone shards, and that's how we use that other slot in the furnace. If we put those limestone flux into this slot, we can double the output of our ores. So that will be nice. Let me get a little bit more of this between stone. Yes, that does work. Okay, because some of this stuff doesn't work necessarily in this version. Some of it works in the next version. Like, because this mod is, I think, mostly being developed for like 1.10 right now. It's a little bit older than the 1.7 stuff, but sulfur furnace surrounded by between stone gets us a dual sulfur furnace. I want to go ahead and get that. And I'll probably go ahead and upgrade this other one as well. Because what it does, basically you have two furnaces in one. They're all, I mean, they're both like their own furnace, so you're going to have to put fuel into, both of them if you're wanting to smelt things. But you can actually fit two furnaces into one block space, which is kind of nice. It's kind of handy. It doesn't compare to the furnaces that we have back in the overworld, but that's okay. But let's go out and see if we can find some crag rock. So maybe we can make a mortar. I know we're getting fairly close to wrapping up point. Next episode, I will go ahead and say, I don't know for sure if we're going to be doing more Betweenlands stuff. Because like this episode was kind of getting our feet wet, but I feel like I have a good idea of... a better idea, anyways, of the Betweenlands and the route that I want to take next with it. Which I think is going to be a lot of farming. Uh-oh, we got a lurker. We got a few lurkers. Hide and seek. Man, like Lycanites. I'm going to definitely see if I can get Lycanites turned off for the Betweenlands by next episode as well, because it's kind of a nuisance, I will say that. Man, these nettle soups like restore like everything. It's great. I had to get out of there because there were so many Lycanites mobs. I'm just trying to avoid them as best I can right now, because like they definitely shouldn't be here, because their negative effects are rough. Oh, this poison ivy is terrible. Oh, what is this? Frogs. I think that, yeah, that's a poisonous one. But we get raw frog's legs. We can smelt those for fried frog legs. And then what is this? Green dendrithist? Oh, that's how you make the dendrithist vials and the limbic and stuff. Okay. I'm definitely going to grab this stuff. Does it only spawn on top of trees? Like this? Like on top of these stumps? Okay, and right here is crag rock. Oh, man. More Lycanites mobs. Oh, wait, that's not Lycanites, is it? I don't think that is. Okay, this is that crag rock. Basically, this stuff was near where we first spawned in at. Like those little, like, floating islands. We're in deep waters right now. It spawns, like, in the marshy, like, really marshy areas. Is this... No, that's Betweenlands. These guys fly. I don't have a bow yet. So I'm just going to have to fly to compensate. What is this? Pyrids? They drop sulfur and something else. I don't know what that is, but... tangled roots. They're compostable, which we'll get into composting next episode, I'm sure. But we're going to need a bunch of that psychomerites, whatever it is. Oh. I know I'm kind of flying around right now, but that's just because of all the Lycanites, basically. Can I, oh. I imagine that bug catching net can probably catch those. Can probably catch those fireflies, I think, probably. Okay, so I want to make a mortar. It's 5 crag rock and then just a couple sticks. So let's do that. Oh, I can't shift click into these. That's fine. Okay, so there's our mortar, and I'm just going to set this down like right here. I do want to put some of this stuff into the alchemy building because I think this stuff just looks really cool. And let's see, we're going to need a pestle, which is just more crag rock and weedwood sticks. And we can actually automate some of this stuff, which we'll get into a little bit later with the life crystals and all that. Those spawn down in that like underwater part of that area. When we were mining that underwater part, they can spawn like down there into the like stalagmites. But anyways, if we shift right click, you can see it opens this up. I think this is where the life crystal goes, maybe. But if we put in that, it's going to start doing that. And if I exit out, like if I was to put say 11 in here and exit out, it's not going to do anything. What is it? Do I have to do it one by one, or there we go. I just have to right click it and it's going to run and it's going to crush that stuff up, but it only does one operation per right click. So a life crystal can automate that process for us, but for right now I'm just going to do that and just right click it. Let me grab some of this octane ore and I'll show you how this stuff works. Oh, does it have to be an empty hand? Yes, it does have to be an empty hand if we're manually doing it. So what I can do is I can take this limestone flux, put it into here. Then if I was to put some of this octane ore, let me get a little bit more of this stuff made real quick. Because I want to say it consumes like 1 per operation. Like 1 flux, but I could be wrong. This is my first time using it, so. I'm generally one, like something like this, I'd rather just jump into it and just go than like do a ton of research with it. But I think this is going to give us like 2 octane ingots per ore now. Or there's a chance to do it, I think. So we'll let that run for just a minute and see what we get, because we're cooking 8 right now, so I'm curious to see what we're going to get out of 8. You can see right here it's using 1 flux per time, and we got 3 and only cooked 2 so far. So far we've gotten 1 additional ingot. So there is a chance to double. It's not 100%. But I do like this because it's very fitting for the Betweenlands, right? Like, it's like a 50%, I think, chance. And by the way, the mortar has a durability as well. Like you can see 91% remaining, 116 more uses. Honestly, the other stuff might be implemented in this. Like we'll have to see, because I think it's like the 1.10 version. There's certain things that aren't fully implemented yet. I don't know. It's when you look at the wiki, some of the stuff is for the 1.10, some of the stuff is for the 1.7, so it's kind of difficult to navigate at the moment. Okay, so we got 11 ingots out of 8 ore. So, I mean, that's not bad. It's about a 50% chance or so to double with that. So I definitely want to do that with the Sire Morite stuff. I think it would come in handy, I do believe. Because that stuff is not very common at all. And there is other ores, like there's a type of ore called like vindicolite or something like that that's very kind of on par with Vanilla's diamonds, right? Okay, I went ahead and spent a little bit of time looking at the the configs for Lycanites and stuff and messing with that, and I believe I've gotten what seems to be the majority of the Lycanites disabled. I went through and disabled like all the spawns in this dimension, because this dimension by default it's you can actually change the dimension ID in the configs. It was set to 20 and I went ahead and left it as 20. It doesn't really matter, but I went ahead and changed the Lycanite stuff to not spawn in dimension 20. I have noticed certain things are still around. Some of them are mobs that were spawned before I changed it, so naturally those things are still there. Oh, I did find a Valinite shard. Only one of them. Like, they're super rare. I meant to catch it on camera, and it slipped my mind, and I went ahead and just mined it because I was like, oh yeah. I did do a little bit of mining while I was editing footage and stuff, but I do want to grab a bit of these thorns. In fact, but for the most part, I think the Lycanite stuff isn't going to spawn anymore. So the next time that we're in the Betweenlands, the next episode that we are, I'm probably not going to use any more flight, and we'll possibly start using actual Betweenlands armor instead, because I think it would be a little bit more fun than flying around, because I think that kind of ruins dimensions a lot, and there's a whole lot to the Betweenlands. But I think what we're going to do is probably next episode, we are going to switch gears and go back into blood magic. Okay. And then the episode after, we'll come back to Betweenlands and kind of bounce back and forth a little bit. So we're doing a little bit of exploration and a little bit of progression for the mod pack itself. Because, of course, the stuff that we do in here isn't going to benefit us in terms of the mod pack aside from just decorative stuff. I mean, I will say, there's nothing like super OP, oh my gosh, from this mod that we're going to be getting or anything like that, you know. But that's one thing that I like. You know, I like just exploring for the sake of exploring and whatnot. It's fun. And plus, this kind of reminds me of, like, the first time I ever went into, like, the Twilight Forest, right? Like, going in there blind. Hey, yeah. See, I think certain mobs are still spawning, but it's not, when I go outside, there's not like pelicans flying around everywhere, which is a lot of my issue with the Lycanite stuff. It was the pelicans and the grass creatures, I think, that bothered me the most about it. And one reason I kind of wanted to turn off a lot of the Lycanite spawning. So, I mean, if shades and stuff like that spawn, that's fine. I don't mind it too much. I just don't want pelicans flying around the swamp. Oh man, this goes down. See, that's life crystal ore right there. Is there any way for me to get some oxygen here? I'm going to try to make an oxygen hole here. Because I'm going to end up drowning. There's life crystal ore down here. That's what I'm trying to get. And it almost seems like that's not a 100% chance. Like, you'll notice this shows life crystal ore as being what we get from this. But so far, I haven't actually been able to mine any. It seems like whenever I mine those stalagmites, like, I don't actually get life crystal ore. I'll use that little trick. Oh! We have a white. That's what they look like. I did run into one of these when I was mining. You'll notice he has like a red gem on his arm, like going around him. We'll get into that stuff a little bit later. That's middle gems. And basically, if we can craft middle gems into our weapons, like, there's 3 different types, right? There's the red, the blue, and the, what was it, green, I think? I don't know where I'm at. Like, this is uncharted territory right now. And I know it's wrapping up point, but, like, now we're finding things. What is this? What is this? I know there's a couple, like, dungeons, I think, that spawn underground, right? Ooh, Pot of Chance. Ooh, 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 arrows. Angler tooth arrows and octane arrows used with caution. I wanted to get some angler tooth arrows, but we need angler teeth and dragonfly wings. I haven't seen any dragonflies, and I haven't gotten any teeth from killing anglers as of yet. There's also a chance that mobs can spawn out of these. Ooh, what is this? That was a basilisk arrow. Those arrows actually turn mobs to stone. So I would like to get a bow up and going for some of those, like, flying mobs and stuff, but I've got to get a good supply of arrows before I start rocking a bow. I do have, 6 arrows now? This place is terrifying. Oh man, there's more stuff up here. The ambient sounds here scare me to death. Yeah, there's a termite thing. Oh, and apparently these guys can still spawn. That's fine. And this. Another termite. Like, this stuff is so crazy eerie. Like, it really is. And you can see moderately corroded, moderately corroded. The axe is only slightly corroded. Like, everything corrodes. And it's not like an on-use kind of thing. It's just it passively corrodes. And whenever you use it, it corrodes faster. So, and then if you're in like certain kinds of water, I think it's like swampy water, or it might be any kind of water, it increases the corrosion rate, and corrosion is just something you kind of have to be aware of. Now, there is a certain ore that you can put on your weapons, which I haven't found yet, but I'm sure we'll find it later on, and we'll talk about it then, but basically you can stop corrosion with it. Oh man, there's another one of these big things. I know it's wrapping up point. We're getting there. Ooh, what is this? Item scroll. Oh, that's for, I think, item animation, which is another thing we'll get into later on. There's so many like little features within this mod. It's crazy. Wow, there is a ton of chance jars here. Oh, that's where we just were. Okay, now there's some of these places that actually spawn. They're like dungeons. They have mob spawners in them, which are apparently pretty nasty, but we haven't ran into any with a spawner in it as of yet. I did run into a couple of these places like while I was just kind of mining around, but I mean there wasn't anything other than just there wasn't any of this scale for starters. Poison angler tooth arrows. Like there's all kind of like effect arrows, which is cool. But anyways, I know it's wrapping up point, so which I hate to see it. I hate to end it, honestly. Is that a white? Yeah, there's a white over there. And you'll notice that one has a green gem around him. Oh, I was talking about those gems. We'll get into those more later on. But basically, the, oh my gosh. There's another one of these places up there. Basically, each gem has power over other kind of gem. So, for example, I think Aqua is strong against... Is that a pitstone break a wall? Oh, wow. We have to go in here. Okay, I know this episode's going to run a little bit long. I apologize. But if... I can only assume this is a dungeon. Oh, maybe not. No, this is like a little house. Hey. But basically, they only have effect on, like, other gem type things, like, situations. So, like, for example, that white, that, let me dump some of this stuff into here. Octane. Okay. You'll notice I got 8 Symarite. That actually came, 8 of those came from one of these pots of chances. So, these things can be pretty nice, actually. But basically, if I fought a white that had, say, a blue gem, and I had a green gem, then I would deal extra damage against him. But if I had, say, a red gem, then he would deal extra damage against me. And that's basically how it works. Or, I don't know, it goes on your weapon. I don't know if he would deal more damage against me necessarily, or if I would deal less damage to him with that weapon. Something like that. I'll have to double check, but it was one of those things I just kind of like glanced over, and I was like, I don't know what that does. What is that, that eyeball? Chiseled pitstone. That's kind of cool. Ooh. Weeping blue petal. Okay, this is actually a flower that we came across when I was reviewing the footage. This restores hunger and the decay stuff. So, but anyways, I know it's wrapping up point. I'm gonna quit doing what I'm doing. I am gonna try to find my way out of here, but I'm just gonna probably start mining straight up. I think would be the best route to go at this point, because I have no clue where in the world I'm at. It's one of those things I just can't stop. But anyways, I do have a couple quests that were completed and I forgot to go over, which we'll go over them. We'll turn them in next episode because I don't have any inventory space. But basically, over here under farming, I did the pretty darn regular and the much more possibilities. I did complete those when I was making that new armor. And then over here, Sacrifice Runes and Sigil of the Blood Lamp. I completed those 2 quests as well. Because I went ahead and made a Sigil of the Blood Lamp, which was not cheap. It requires a Magnum Torch. That way we'd have a Blood Lamp. I haven't been using it this episode because I'm trying to stick with, the Betweenlands stuff and everything. But next episode, we will probably be doing blood magic automation. I would like to get the blood altars automated. But on the channel, I do have a tutorial for, like, a single blood altar. But the thing is, that requires Thaumcraft, and we're not far enough, of course, to have Thaumcraft available to us at the moment. Oh, wow, I just came out into another cave. But there is a bit of this Sirmite, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this stuff. But so what we're going to do is we're going to use a dual altar setup, just 2 different altars that work together to automate, all of blood magic. I think that'll be just as well, because that way the runes can kind of bounce back and forth as we create them, and it'll be a little bit faster anyways than a single altar, and not terribly expensive. I have started crafting up some of the runes for that stuff. I'll get that stuff crafted up before next episode, at least usable, to the point of being usable, and then we'll automate that next episode. That way we have the blood magic stuff automated, and once that stuff's automated, I mean, it's really just a hop, skip, and a jump to finish out all the blood magic stuff that we've been working on and get to the demon summoning, and then we can move on with Britannia and then into Thaumcraft after that. So, be good stuff. But anyways, I'm going to end it out here. I know this episode ran a little bit long. I do apologize. But I hope you guys still enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys next time. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay up to date with when new videos come out. I hope to see you guys next time, and we'll be back in the Betweenlands episode after next. So I hope you guys join me for that. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.